flirting with boys at the age of 5. Oh my god, he's so hot. So I would literally be flirting with him while class daycare was going on. Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. So pretty much it is currently, oh god, it's 8 a.m. and I'm yelling at a camera. The people in this apartment are gonna hate me. I think they already do anyway, so it's whatever. So currently it is 8 a.m. and y'all are probably like, Nick, why are you up filming at 8 a.m? That's because I woke up this morning at 7 a.m. an hour ago. Love math. And had a crazy idea. So I remember my mom telling me this one thing when I came out as gay, and she was like, I always knew you were gay. And I was like, how did you know I was gay? Like, was it that obvious? Yes, it was. So after I asked her like why it was obvious that I was gay when I came out and all, she told me that there was so many childhood signs that I was gay. And now these don't generalize to all gays and all people that come out, because a lot of these things straight people could do as well, but like generally these are like gay signs. And I turned out gay, so they were right. So this morning I woke up and I thought I would do a video on childhood signs that I was gay, just because they're really funny and some are really obvious. So just a disclosure, these signs don't mean you are gay. Like, this is just things that I did as a kid. Alright guys, so let's get started with our first story. So before I get started with the first sign that I was gay, I just want to tell you guys that if y'all subscribe, hit the bell, and comment down below the notification squad shout out, I'll go in the comments down below of this video and find everyone that did all three. And if y'all do all three, I will follow you and I will find one of the hashtags to shout out in my next video. And I do have shout outs for this video, so if y'all want to find out if you were shout out for my last video, wait till the end of the video and you'll see if you got shout out. Alright guys, that's all for the intro, and let's just get on to the list. I wrote a list down. I'm not playing around. I wasn't kidding. Alright, let's get into it. Alright guys, so our first sign that I was gay is, what did I write? So in daycare, well, I don't know about you guys, but in our daycare when I was young, so like from 3 years old to like I think 5, we had this thing called dress up time, which I'm sure everyone's heard of, everyone's had. So I remember this very vaguely, but my mom told me this whole story back home. So there was a chest in our daycare of like a bunch of costumes where people would dress up, and in this box of costumes there was like, they were very gender neutral. They put costumes for girls, guys, which was really cool because back then it was like 2003. So there was a box and there was just a bunch of costumes in it, and they would be like, okay guys, it's dress up time. And of course my ass got up first and ran to that box. So now all the boys in my daycare would obviously go for like the prince outfits, mainly superhero outfits, but then I walked up to that box and I remember always picking out one of the dresses. So I would mainly pick out like the Disney princess dresses, and I think my favorite one, if I'm not mistaken, was Belle. So I would always take the dresses, and I was the only boy in my daycare who did this. And even when I used to walk by my daycare, because my daycare used to be right next to my old elementary school, so when I used to walk to school, they would yell out the window of the daycare and remind me that I did this. They were like, oh my god, Nick, how are you? Remember when you used to put on dresses? I'd walk to school with my friends and I would be like, who are they? I don't know them. So I was literally dragging since I was like 3. Like, this is one of the signs that I think, you know, could have assumed that I might turn out gay. Now the next sign that I wrote down is, so now the toy situation. So when I was a kid, so my parents were a mix of both progressive and not progressive in terms of like, they would try to push the toys that are more for guys on me, like, you know, the sports balls, which honestly I did play with because I love balls. So they try to push like sports on me and like, you know, kind of like cars and like that kind of stuff on me. And to be fair, I did play with a few cars and stuff, but I think my eye in the store would always go towards the Barbie section and the princess section. When I went out to Walmart with my mom, she would buy me Barbies. Like, I mean, she was a very progressive mom for that time anyways, and she would just let me buy whatever I wanted. But even though they would push like the cars and stuff on me, I would always go for the Barbies and they would let me go at it. But if it was like birthday party or whatever and it was like I was getting gifts, a lot of my family members would get me guy stuff. Presents I would get for my birthday were cars and stuff. So I didn't have many Barbies growing up, but my sister had a whole Barbie collection, like a Bratz collection, and I remember just always going in her room and playing Barbies with her, and I would always play with her stuff because I didn't like my cars, and the Barbies that I did have, I was over. They're trash. Bye. One of my very best friends to this day, Jada, I love her. So we weren't even that young, but maybe we were like 7, 8, or 9, and I remember always going to her house and playing Barbies. So like she had a massive, like she was like the queen of Barbies. Like she had a fucking mansion for Barbies. She had a car. She had like a whole like resort for her Barbies. Yeah, so I would always go to her house and I would literally want to go to her house just to play Barbies because I knew that her collection was like impressive and it was a lot of fun and I miss it so much. So Jada, if you want to play Barbies again, I'm down. Again, these signs could go towards straight people as well. But to me personally, this was one of the signs that I might have been gay. I just love combing their hair and like braiding their hair. Like, I'm surprised I did not turn out a gay hairdresser, but like, you know, I'm a YouTuber, so even gayer. The next childhood sign that I was gay is, well, my first kiss was a guy. I forgot about that. But yes, my first kiss was a guy. And y'all are probably like, oh my god, Nick, well, like, how old were you? Like 16, like 15, 14? No, I was 4 years old, and it was a guy. I was just ahead of everyone back then. Like, gay was not even a thing in my daycare, and I made it a thing. So this is the same daycare where I would pick up the dresses and wear those. So I remember this new boy came into school, or came into daycare, and me and my girls were like all chatting around. We were like, oh my god, he's so cute. Like, who's gonna get him? Because of course, us being slutty 4-year-olds, were like, oh my god, new boy in town. Who's gonna like fuck him first, you know? I was so progressive for my age. They were like sluts, but like they weren't to like my level. So they were like, hey, well, Nick, I guess you can go for him. So this new boy came into our daycare. I recall his name. I'm not sure if I should say it or not though, because it's just kind of awkward, and like I don't want to expose him like that in case he might be gay, because he did kiss me and like want to kiss me back. So I'm not gonna say any names. So I remember going with like my girls in like the sandbox and putting sand on our lips. Like, we would literally put sand in this little tube on our lip, and we would be like, okay, is my lipstick on? They were like fixing me up. We were 4 and they were fixing me up to kiss this guy. So progressive. Love my girlfriends. They don't care whether you're gay, straight, they didn't give a shit. I remember getting fixed up, being very nervous. So I remember going to him and I was like, hi. And I forget how this happened, because again, I was like 4 years old. So I came up to him in daycare and I was like, okay, well, listen, like, you're new in town, do you want to kiss me? Like, I don't know if that's how the words went exactly, because again, I was 4. I just remember it happening and I kissed him. And this is not like a dream I had, because this boy came to me, because we went to the same elementary school after that. So he came to me in like our last year of elementary school. We were like 12 or something. And he told me, he was like, remember in daycare when we kissed? And I was like, yeah. And back then we were like both straight, and now I'm gay, so I don't know if he's gay or not. He could be straight, to be fair. The next childhood sign I was gay is, oh, I always found boys hot. That's so true. So this literally goes back to like kindergarten and obviously daycare, since I obviously must have found this boy cute because I kissed him. But I remember a specific crush I had in kindergarten. So my first year of elementary school, I was already flirting with boys at the age of 5. So I'm gonna say this boy's name because like I don't really care. Like, I don't have a thing for him anymore. Like, that was like in kindergarten. So I remember this kid in my kindergarten class called Jason. As a 5-year-old and seeing another hot 5-year-old, like, it's not, you know, like I found him really cute and I was like, oh my god, he's so hot. So I would literally be flirting with him while class daycare was going on. But this was kindergarten, sorry. So we were like learning numbers and stuff, and I remember just always wanting to sit next to him, and like during our break time I would like always like kind of like stand by him and be like, oh my god, like, how are you? Like, I was like only 5, so like now that I think about it, like what was I like, what was in my head at 5 years old? Like, was I just like that horny? Like, what? Again, I was a very weird kid. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking back then. Obviously I wanted dick, and like it didn't happen. And then again, this just goes on to like movies and TV shows. Like, I used to have a crush on Troy from High School Musical. I used to have a crush on Max from Wizards of Waverly Place. I had a crush on a lot of like old Disney stars when I was like growing up. And that must have been a sign that I was gay, right? Like that was a big sign that I was gay, because if you have a crush on a guy and you're like willing to like fuck with them, like you're definitely like a little gay. So now this next sign is one of those signs where this could literally go for anyone, whether you're gay, straight, bi, whatever. Specifically to my situation, this was one of the signs that I was a big gay. Literally, since I was in daycare, as I told you guys, all my friends were girls. I'm gonna show pictures of like all my girlfriends here, but like growing up from like literally 3 years old to like even now, most of my friends are girls, and if they aren't girls, then they're really gay guys. I've always just felt more comfortable with girls my whole life, and I think it's also a fact that my dad was never really around, in terms of like he was always working. So he would like work early morning to like late at night because he had his own business, and he was growing it during my childhood. So he was always at work or he was always on business trips. So a lot of the time it was just me, my mom, and my sister. I was partly raised by like all girls, like my mom and my sister. That's who I was with most of my time, and I've just always felt more comfortable with girls around. So even to this day, like this goes to like my 19 years old, sorry, there's coffee here and I've been like eyeing it, so love feeding my addiction. I've just always felt more comfortable with girls around. So like, for example, like I love Anthony to death, and like we got along miraculously well because I don't get along with straight boys at all. Like straight boys and me just don't really get along. So the thing is, like, I'll try to act straight around them and then I'll try to like fit in, but it just doesn't work. When I hang out with Anthony's friends, which all his friends are straight, manly mates, you know, like chugging beer and shit. I've been out with his friends a couple times, and every time I hang out with them, like, they're lovely, like I love them, they're so sweet, but I just like, I don't know, like I just feel like I sometimes don't fit in with other straight guys, and like I find it so hard to like start conversation with them. I don't know, like get their humor. Their humor is like literally like a guy takes a shit on someone's face and they're like, oh, that's so funny, and like I don't get it. But then again, like I laugh at like wigs on Drag Race being snatched, so like I don't know what's worse, you know what I mean? Oh my god, someone's just like dumping trash. Me. Dump me, daddy. I think right now though, since I am getting older and more mature, I'm starting to like get along with straight guys more and more as I age, which is, you know, good. Even like I'm trying to think back to like high school and like elementary school, like I think I had like 1 or 2 guy friends. All right, next one. Okay, so this is kind of like a dumb sign, but like this one could have pondered both straight and gays, but like me and my sister have binge watched those like Barbie movies. I don't know if y'all know what I mean, but you know, like those really weird like CGI like 2003 like Barbie movies? Me and my sister had the whole collection in our house. We had the Bratz movie as well. We would literally binge watch these on a weekly basis. Again, that's like a dumb sign, but like, yeah, my mom reminded me of this when I came out, and she was like, well, Nick, I mean, you do have the whole box set to Barbie. And I was like, you know what? Okay, you're right. Okay, and now this is the last sign that I was gay, pretty much. So as a kid, I didn't really have like that many dress up things for girls. Most of my dress ups would be in daycare, but at home, I didn't really have like any dresses or stuff. So what I would do a lot of the times is I would go in my mom's closet and try on her high heels and like walk around the house and literally like pose and like Vogue when I was the age of like 4 or 5. We had no wigs though, because and like we were just not big on Halloween costumes. We just did not have wigs in our house. So I would put heels on, and for a wig, what I would do, so you know how like people put towels on their hair when like they're drying it and they're like whoosh, whoosh. I would do that and have like a long ponytail, but like it would be a towel. So I would literally walk around the house like for hours, and I mean hours. Like I would literally put a towel on my head all day, and I was just like fake brushing my hair. It was a towel, and I would just like walk around the house like this, like hey guys. I literally started the high ponytail. Ariana, back away. I don't know, like again, that's like a really dumb sign that I was gay, but like it's just one of those things that like I did when I was a kid. And even like the older teens, I would put a towel on my head, and again, we had like no wigs back then, but I was like feeling myself. I was like, yes queen. Like I was like feeling myself like so much with a towel. Like I don't know if y'all saw the video where Athena turned me into a drag queen, but I think that's why like when I turn into a drag queen, I like feel myself so much. Having a whole wig and like having a whole costume, like having the heels and all, is such a good experience. I don't know, that's why to this day like I find dragging so fun, and like I love doing it, and I feel myself so much. Alright guys, so that's all for my childhood signs I was gay. I have so many more, so if y'all want a part 2 of this, I have like a whole other list of shit I would do as a kid that like may have assumed I was gay. And again, these do not ponder to everyone. Do not hate on me. I get enough of that from my friends. And guys, if y'all want to follow from me in this video, all you have to do is hit the bell, subscribe, and comment down below. The Notification Squad shout out. Talking about Notification Squad shout outs, it's time for the shout outs of the video. So if y'all did the hashtag on my last video and subscribe and hit the bell, I'm gonna shout y'all right now. So I'm gonna pick a random person from my video. I'm on my last video right now. I'm gonna go into the comments. So the first shout out goes to Sophie Jane or Jean or Jeans. Love you, Sophie. And the next shout out goes to Miranda Phillips. So if y'all want to be a shout out in my next video, again, just do all 3 and I'll find you in the comments and I'll shout you out in my next video. Alright guys, that's all for the video, and I'm gonna see you guys after tomorrow with another new video. Alright, I'm gonna go drag with a towel now. I'll see you guys next week. Alright, bye.